So let's see if this works. I welcome everybody to this new way of learning. I know it's not like I'm there in front of the classroom, but we'll see how this goes today. First thing is we're going to be doing section 12-3. We did 12-4 just before we went on our extended spring break. If you remember, that was the box and whisker plots or box plot method. We're kind of just stepping a little bit back and going more in depth into mean, median, and mode. These are all called measurements of central tendency. So when we have mean, median, and mode, basically mean is an average. It's the average of all the data sets they give you. So if you can see over here in this definition, we wrote it out kind of algebraically. So you have a bunch of data sets. The data sets are like x sub 1, x sub 2, meaning the different numbers, all the way to however many we have, x sub n. That total number is what we divide by. So we add up all of our data and we divide by the total number we have. That is your mean or your average. You've been doing this for a long time, so that should be pretty standard. We did touch base again on median. Median is the centermost point. We know that when we have an odd amount of data sets, that it's pretty easy. It's the middlemost number once you put them in order from smallest to greatest. However, when we have a median and we have an even amount, we will have to take the average of the middle two most numbers. Again, once it's put in order from least to greatest. Mode, maybe you haven't done a lot with this. Mode is when they give you a list of numbers, it's the number that occurs the most. So if they give us 5 numbers and 3 appears 3 times, well, that would be the mode because it appears 3 times. It's the most occurring number of the data set. Let's go over here and take a look at the first example. When we look at this example, our data set is 2, 4, 3, 6, 9, 1, and 4. First, put them in order. You have to always have data in order from smallest to greatest. There's a lot of stuff we do with it, and we have to make sure we remember to do this. So putting them in order, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, and 9. Well, if we're finding the mode, what is the most occurring number? 4. 4 appeared 2 times. Then if we look at the median, well, first, this is an odd amount of data. This data here, as you see, if you put them in order, 1, 2, 3, and then from the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4 sits in the middle as a median. Well, median, mode, we have that. How do we find the mean? The mean is the average. Add up all your data points. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 9. You get 29. How many total points were there? 7. So when we divide this, you get 4.14 is the mean or the average of those data points. Compare this to the median. Notice that it's pretty close. So that's generally what happens in any type of statistical data. When you have the mean and the average should be relatively close, provided that there's no outlier out here. If we would have had like negative 46, or you would have had over here a positive 20, notice that those numbers do not follow within these 7 numbers. There's an outlier. One is way off to the left. Okay, how are they going to make these problems more complicated for us? Let's take a look at this last example here. It says, if your grade is made of 5 tests and you score 81, 72, 65, and an 84, what does the last test grade have to be to score 80% in the class? All right, so first, let's look at our first thing. How many total tests do we need? We need 5 total tests. There's 1 missing. Anytime in algebra we have something missing, that's our variable. We're going to call it x. Okay, so in this case, we have to write our equation. We know what the total class average is. That was 80% here. So here's 80%. And then what do we do with an average? We add up all the given terms, the 81, the 72, 65, 84, plus the unknown, and divide by your total amount. Once you have the equation all set up, the rest of it's pretty easy. We just have to simplify. add all of our like terms where we can. So in the numerator, we can add all of those and get a 302 plus x divided by 5. And then what do we have to do? We have to solve this. So in order to solve this, we need to get rid of our denominator. So we multiply both sides by 5. This will cancel out the denominator. We are then left with 302 plus x equals 400. Well, again, this is just solving a one-step equation. Subtract 302 from both sides, and we get x equals 98. So in order, you're going to need a 98 on your last test in order to average an 80. This can be asked in many different ways. You just have to remember that you're adding them all together. One of them is going to be missing, so that's your variable. And you divide by the total number of tests, including the variable. Right, there's a few Khan Academy assignments that I've pushed through. You'll notice in Khan Academy, you can see those. You need to watch the video, do the little test yourself in there, and then you'll have a Math Excel assignment open. As always, it is always titled 12-3 homework. When all of that's finished, please try to do section 1 of your, topic 1 of section 10 in your Algebra Nation.